As we continue the celebration of the Year of Faith, we continue to look at the sacraments. And last time we looked at baptism, and today we look at the second sacrament of initiation, the Eucharist. And as Catholics, the Eucharist is the foundation. It is what it's all about. We are Eucharistic people. And while there's much that we could say about the Eucharist, probably hundreds, if not thousands, of books have been written about the Eucharist, I'd like to take a line from Vatican II that, for me, sums up what the Eucharist is all about. And in Vatican II, the Church Fathers said the Eucharist is the font and the summit of the Christian life. And that's a beautiful image. The font meaning it is what feeds us, and the summit meaning it is what we aspire to. The Eucharist is where Jesus comes to us, but the Eucharist also needs to raise us up to be more like Christ. For the Eucharist, the gift of the real presence is something that should change us. It is something that is called to conform us more and more, as St. Ambrose of Milan once said, like that which we receive. And that's why as Catholics the Eucharist is so essential, because it is where we encounter God in a profound and intimate way so that God can touch our hearts, so that Christ can change us and make us more like Him. That's why the celebration of the Sunday Eucharist is so essential. That's why a devotion to the Eucharist needs to be foundational for any Catholic. During this year of faith, as we remember and learn and dive deeper into our faith, let us not forget the most basic element, that it is in the gift of the Eucharist that Christ is not only present still with us, but that Christ makes Himself available in that intimate, special way where we receive Him in His body and blood week after week. And let us realize that it is those two simple gifts, the gift of bread and wine that becomes the body and blood of Christ, that becomes the place where God comes to us, and most importantly, where God changes us in our lives. Not a homily, just something to think about.